Hey boys and girls, this is Miss Cheryl with your counting before and after video. So the skill that we're practicing in this video is picking a number. We're going to use the numbers between 1 and 10 and deciding what number comes before that number and what number comes after that number. So it's can be tricky. The words before and after can be tricky to learn, to know what they mean and to kind of put them in context of numbers. It's just a kind of a weird skill that it takes a little while to learn how to do. So I thought we would use, let me flip my chart here real quick, flip my page. I thought we would use the idea of getting in line. So everybody at this point, even though we haven't been in school since March, should remember having to line up in school. Line up to go to lunch, maybe some in the younger grades, you line up to go to the bathroom, you line up to go outside. So you had to get in line. So what I did was create a line made up of our numbers. So we would imagine that, let me move my mouse over here. We imagine that the 0 for this particular one is the teacher. So the teacher is going to take this line of numbers and let's just say they're going to go to the playground. So if you think of before and after, I want you to think of it in context of this line. I want you to think of it, if I say who's before somebody, it would be the person that's in front of that person. So if we just say we pick the number 2 and I say who's before 2, in my mind I'm thinking, okay, who's in front of 2? Who's in front of 2 in my line? It's number 1. So that would be the number before 2. So then the flip side of that is who's after 2. And in the context of our line, I want you to think of, okay, well, who's behind 2? That would be the person or the number that's after 2, the one that's behind him in line. So if you go behind him in line, it would be the number 3. So 3 would be after 2. 1 would be before 2. So I came up with a couple. We're going to keep coming back to this slide, so I'm going to be jumping around just a little tiny bit. But I came up with a couple scenarios so that we could practice this skill. So 3 is the number on this slide. 3 is the number that we're trying to decide what comes before 3 and what comes after 3. So let's go back to our line of numbers that's heading out to the playground, and find 3. So here's number 3. So I need to decide before. Who was before 3? So again, remember, before means in front of. So who was in front of 3 in our line? Hopefully you decided on 2. 2 is definitely in front of 3. So if we go back to our other page, we can grab the 2. Hopefully, yep, maybe. And we can grab and pop him up here. 2 is in front of 3. Maybe, maybe not. Hopefully. There we go. Okay, so now we have to decide who comes after 3. So let's go back to our line. And the words that we want to change after to behind. So who's behind 3 in line? Who's after 3 in line? Hopefully you decided on 4. Here he is behind 3 in line. Whoops. And we can go back to our page and we can grab the 4 and we can pop him up here. Oops. My gracious. The 6 was there just to confuse you. That's just that was a trick. So 6, we can just take him and guess what? We're going to delete him. All right, next one. So now we have to decide on 6. So 2, 5, and 7 are our choices. Now that we know one of them is a trick number, only 2 of them we're going to use. But we have to decide who comes before 6 and who comes after 6. So let's go back to our number line, to our line of numbers, and find 6. So here is 6 in our line of numbers heading out to recess. Remember, this is the teacher, this is the front of the line. So before, who is in front of or before 6 in line? So here's 6, we're looking in front of. 5 is hopefully who you selected. So we'll go back to our other page. We'll grab this 5 and hopefully slide them up there. There we go. All right, and now we need to decide who's after 6 in line. So go back, there's our 6. After is the same as behind, who's behind 6 in line. Jump over to behind, and it is 7. We can grab the 7, hopefully, maybe. Pick him up. And 2 is our trick number for this one, and we can just delete him. Sorry, 2. All right, one more to practice. All right, 9 is our number this time, 9. So who comes before 9? Who comes after 9? Maybe you don't need to go back to your number line. You can pick it. You can pick right from here. So hang tight, because I still need to kind of go back and reference the number line. But just be thinking about it. If you think you might know without looking, you can check your answer in just a minute. All right, so go back to the number line. Here is 9 at the end of my line. And I need to decide who is before 9 or who is in front of 9 on my number line. So hopefully, give you a second. Hopefully you decided it was 8, right? And then while we're here, let's go ahead and decide who comes after 9 or who is behind 9 in our line. Hopefully, again, you picked 10. So let's go back to here. We said 8 was the number before 9. Those of you who wanted to try it without the number line, you can check your answers now. And then 10 comes after 9 or behind 9 in line. And then for this slide, 1, oops. There we go. 1 was our trick number, so we can go ahead and delete 1. There we go. So we had 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right. So you can keep this screen up and pause if you want, and you can pick any number. You can just say, let me try 7. Which one? Who comes before 7? Who comes after 7? Who is in front of 7? Who is behind 7? Or 3, or 9, or 2. You can just have it on here, and you can just try to practice on your own. I'm also going to create another video that uses our number cards to be able to practice this skill. So here we are. That's it for now. This is Miss Cheryl. I'll talk to you soon.